1 2 1 2 everybody. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Let's see if we can get us in here. It's been a minute. Mic check 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2 everybody. Mic check 1 2. It's been a minute, guys. It's been a minute. I'm waiting for this computer to load up just to see if there's any lag. Hopefully there's none whatsoever. But as you guys come in, please type in the chat. Let me know how the voice sounds. Let me know how the video is. It may lag a little bit because I am using different software. So let me know right in the chat. Let me know if the voice is clear. Let me know if the video is clear. It might be a little laggy because I'm not good at this computer stuff. A little bit of audio lag. Ugh, that's not good. Let's see. Let me see if I can listen to it. Let me know how the video is. It may lag a little bit because I am using different software. So let me know right in the chat. Let me know if the voice is clear. Let me know if the video is clear. Definitely not liking that. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I mean, you said I sound crystal clear, but some people say I have an audio lag. That's not good. Let's see. Let me see if I some people say it's clear, some people's not. Maybe it's my computer. It may lag a little bit because I know how the video is. It may lag a little bit because okay. Let me see my streaming settings. Software. But shout out to everybody that's joining in the chat. I really appreciate you guys so much for showing your love and support. What's going on, James? Shout out to James. Shout out to Big Mac. Shout out to J4. Shout out to Brandon. Grady, what's going on? What's going on, brothers? What's going on, everybody? Really do appreciate you guys always showing your support. Thank you. Let me see if I could do settings on air. Can I actually do that on air, maybe? But shout out to everybody that's joining in the chat. Yeah, I really can't. Oh, no, camera echoes. I'm sorry about that. I'll figure that out right now. Okay. So we'll try our best. We'll try our best to do what we can. And hopefully we'll make this one as best as we can. All right. So first thing, shout out to the whole boostinmotion family. Much love. Really appreciate you guys for always showing your support. Thank you for always hitting the like button. Hopefully it's been the last 2 months since I've been on live with y'all. It's been a little bit of a while, you know. It's been a while. I really haven't been up here chatting with you guys, having a whole conversation and everything like that. It's been quite a while, and I was actually sick for the last 3 weeks. Once again, I got sick with whatever was going on in the world, and it knocked me out. I actually had a nasal infection. So my voice, my nose, everything just may not be up to par. So bear with me. But we'll try our best, and we're going to build it as we fly it. All right? Now, if you guys got any questions, first thing, you can type those in the chat. You know I will answer it. Hopefully, we'll try our best to not let this computer freeze up too much. I'll figure it out. At some time. All right? There's really not a super chat on this software program I'm using. That's how I know I don't really be doing this. There's no live chat here that's popping up. So I actually have to do it off the second video, which freaking sucks. But anyways, if you guys haven't been checking out the last couple videos, yeah, your boy Boost is out here with a check engine light on this goddamn Mercedes E63S. And it is pissing me off. And I've been reading the comments. And you guys are telling me, Boost, get rid of that goddamn Mercedes E63S. It had a blown motor, a blown transmission, a blown whatever pump for the transmission fluid, and now you're getting check engine lights. The car's losing power, going into limp mode. We're tired of seeing it. You're taking L's on videos, and I am getting smacked all over the place, guys. It's bad. The funny thing is though, the car drives perfectly fine. If I drive regular, even if I like give it gas and like beat on the car, it's fine. But it's only until like I do like pulls like 60 miles an hour and up, like pulls, then the car can actually possibly go in limp mode. So I've been doing my research, and it seems that Mercedes is quite funny vehicles with a P0087 code, which means high pressure, low pressure on high pressure rail, pretty much. Low pressure on high pressure rail, whatever. It's a very generic code. But as I keep doing my research, it isn't the high pressure fuel pump. It isn't the lower pressure fuel pump. It's actually something with the battery. Yeah, technically. So I'm still diagnosing that, and we're going to see what's going on with that. So that is something I'm learning. But the car is not down. It works perfectly fine. I drive it whenever I do drive it. It's pretty much in part. Anyone who lives in East Flatbush area, or knows me around the area, which you guys stop by and say what's up if I'm working on the car. Shout out to all the Boost in Motion family that be seeing me in the streets working on the car again. Much love, appreciate you guys too. But it's quite annoying. But I'm gonna keep doing what I gotta do. It is what it is. We're gonna see. So I just want to get that Benz talk out the way. Now, let's go on to shout out to Sam too, if just in case I didn't shout out Sam also in the chat. Oh, the code, James, is P0087. P0087, which means low fuel pressure on fuel rail. Now, shout out to John. Much love, much love. So the next thing we're going to move on to is, guys know this is my only car for now. And I've been shout out to Kings too. Shout out to King Big. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to East New York. Next thing is the G37. So I've been telling you guys for like 2 years, 3 years, whatever. I want to get G37. It's actually my dream car. And your boy Boost has been shopping for one, but I haven't been really coming across, and I haven't had the free time to really go shopping for it. So in the next 2-3 weeks, hopefully I have some time off to go start looking. But I have been looking on Facebook Marketplace just to see if there's any deals. If not, I'm really stuck between getting like a. But first thing, I want an X-Drive. Number one, X-Drive G37 Coupe. I'm really stuck between getting a 2009 to 2013 versus a 2014 and 2015. The reason being is I know what my end goal is with the car, and I don't want to deal with the gallery gasket issue because it's going to have it regardless, especially what I'm going to do. So it's like I spend the extra money just so I don't have to replace the gallery gasket later or replace the motor. So I'm kind of on the fence with that situation and issue. So I still don't really know what I'm going to really do with that. That's still up in the air for me. Let me see if there's any lag with the video voice. I know what my end goal. Okay, cool. So let me just click that off. Now, with that G37, right? The plans that I have for it, because I've been telling some of my close friends about it, what I want to do with the G37. This channel is one of the only channels where I haven't built a car. I have not built a car at all. What I usually did for most of my cars is I did typical bolt-ons and a tune. If you guys know the channel, I put parts in the cars. I reviewed some of the stuff for the cars, some of the items, and I brought on companies that tune and release parts for the different vehicles. So it's a kind of informative channel, right? It's not really for racing and stuff like that. But when I look at other channels that I look up to, like Mike and a couple other channels, they have cars they build. They actually build cars. And even the smaller channels I look up to, they have cars they build. Not necessarily for power, but they actually build them. And it may make them special. And I realize like I haven't done that. And it's something I've always wanted to do. So that's why I really want to build a G37 Coupe, because I've always wanted one. But number two, someone that wrote, are you going to boost it? Yeah. I want to boost the G37 Coupe. I definitely do. That's why I want an X-Drive. I have a lot of, if you guys don't know, the tuners that have been on this channel, they're tuned Infinitis, so I have great relationships with them. I have a great relationship with a good amount of parts companies that release parts for this community, and I have good relationships with a lot of people who already boosted VQ motors already. So I'm around a good nest egg of people who have good information, and Boost is on a budget, okay? And I've been following a lot of other people who boosted these VQs for relatively cheap. And I don't want to go supercharged. No, I don't want to go supercharged because that's more the expensive route. And I see what goes with that. I actually want to do a single turbo, rear mounted turbo kit for the G37 Coupe. And I want to make it its own template that somebody else can copy it and replicate it I don't want to say mass produce it and copy it, but like replicate it and do it for their car on a budget. I'm not saying cheap, but I'm saying that they could just kind of go off that diagram and follow what I did so that they can get it done in their G37s, because these G37s are going to be around forever. And I realize a lot of other boosted G37s, unless they're like a Soho mid-mount or top-mount turbo kit, the cheaper ones are more of the rear-mounted kits, and they are about half the price. A lot easier to go back to stock and amongst other things. So I think this is something that I can bring to the channel. I can take my time and build it. Now, I'm not saying necessarily me, but bring it to the channel and everybody can follow the steps as it goes. Every issues, every hiccups, and anyone who's pretty much 18 that just got this car and want to do that and get into it. Not saying you should do it at 18 years old, but knowing that someone did it and you can follow that, I would like to be the guy to pioneer it. So that's something that I can say on video. Even for the naysayers, Boost, you shouldn't do it. I want to do it. And that's why it has to be X-Drive, because I can't drive rear-wheel drive, guys. I suck at it. I suck at driving rear-wheel drive. I'm going to kill myself. So that is the cat I'm letting out the bag. That's why I want to get the rear-wheel drive. Now, let me look in the comments a little bit. Why not a 370Z? There's plenty of 370Z content out there. Huge amount. Also, 370Z is also rear-wheel drive. And once again, I like the body style of a G37 coupe. It's my dream car. I've always wanted to get one. I really haven't said that on the channel, but ever since 2008, 2009, I've always wanted a G37 coupe. And I've had a 2007 G35X, which is the V36 sedan. I had that sedan already. It was a Lakeshore blue one with cream leather interior. And I've done all the modifications to that too, but it's just that I didn't have a YouTube channel then. So you guys got to see me get a YouTube channel when I got my 2015 Q50 3.7. But I've been modifying cars since my Maximas, but I just didn't have a channel. So I've always wanted a coupe. Rear mounts can be pretty laggy. You are correct, James, but it all depends on sizing of the piping. Very much too. And the size of the turbo. And you know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to build a 1,000 horsepower rear mount G37. No, I'm aiming for a cool 600 to 700. I would say 500 to 600 horsepower G37. And I mean like, I'm not trying to make what everyone else is making. I want it to be more of a quicker response car with a smaller turbo that pretty much can be used more for the streets, not for the highway pulls. Because I notice everyone's power that is single turbo, all their power is top end. All their power is from like 5,500 and up. No, I want it to be more punchier between that 3,000 to 6,000 territory. I want it to be very punchy there. So that's what that actual build I want to aim for to actually go. But at the end of the day, I'm going to have a bunch of naysayers. I've been talking to a lot of people, so we'll see what happens, you know. But it's something that I really want to do. Gotta run from those Benz, those still trouble. Yeah. What's going on, Dave? Why nobody want to build sedans? I know, Anthony. I'm sorry. Did you hear that the Mazda is trying to go up in market with the latest vehicles that's trying to compete with Infiniti? I got to take a look at that, Flacco. I've been seeing a couple of news articles, but because I was sick the last 2-3 weeks, I could not really talk on video and make videos. Like, you guys been seeing videos from like 2-3 weeks ago that I went to the track and did certain stuff, but I was sick and like damn near dying. But if I come across these news, I will start doing the updated news and information because it's been a while. Is there a difference between I'll get to that, K, real quick. Give me a second. Let me just finish off the G37 talk. So, knowing that that's what I actually want to aim for with the G37 coupe, that's what we're going to aim for in the future. And I'm super excited about it. And I'm talking about soon future, like next month, I want to get this car and do some of the simple modifications that I would usually do, coilovers, lip kit, some detailing, whatever. But after that, the car is going to be, I'm going to start piecing together all the parts to actually build the car up. Excuse me, guys. So when I get all the parts together, I'm going to send it right to All Out Motorworks in Long Island, and they're going to build the car. They're going to build it, and I'm going to hit up some tuners, and we're going to see who we can get on board. We're going to see who else we can get on board with maybe some parts. But I'm super excited about that project because I want that to be my actual build. So let me get off the G37 talk, and let's move forward. Now, Is there a difference between a 2017 and 2018 Q60 RS 400? No. Okay, there's really no difference between the two at all. Now, if you're talking about, let's say, a Q50, yes, but not the Q60. Q60's pretty much been the same body style. They really haven't even changed the taillights. They've been giving us the same exact cars from 2017 to 2022, 2023. Anthony said, not really just software, maybe like the interior. Okay, I guess I missed that. Well, a lot of people are doing rear-mounted turbos on Q50s. I have been seeing them pop up. It's just that they don't have a YouTube channel, but they are on the Facebook forums. I have seen it. But, at the end of the day, of course it's going to get way more love, the Q50s. But I want to do it with the G37 Coupe. One, because it's cheaper. Two, I've always wanted the car. Three, it's all-wheel drive. And I can see myself actually keeping that car for a while. Because remember, guys, it was like 3 years ago, I just got my C63 2 years ago. I was still on Boost on a budget. I had my Q60. And 3-4 years ago, I would have never known I would have been owner of an E63S. So I am going up there. I am progressing. I am a channel that is working hard to get my way up there. I'm not just a YouTuber that goes get Lamborghinis and go for clout. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely working my way up here. Also, I think I missed some questions. Let me just double check. My G37 just gave me a 4K bill. No car is reliable. Damn, bro. Damn, that hurts. What's up with the NY police using GPS trackers? I gotta look into that too. The GPS trackers thing, I have to look into that. I've been getting so much news. Even in Long Island, they're gonna start using speed cameras in construction zones. I've been seeing the information, but I haven't been reading it because I was down. I wasn't feeling too well. So I will continue to research that, and when I get the proper information, that's just not he said, she said, I'm gonna drop some videos on it. John Blaze says Natish 21 had a Monster G, and I think it was 1,000. It wasn't Natish 20. Whoa, he has a G37, G35 Coupe. His car is definitely fast. It's built. His other friend, he had a white G37, and they had I think that guy had a rear-mounted built G37, coupe, but then now he's gonna go with a VR38 swap G37. But he had made crazy power too, but the motor ended up popping or breaking, and it was built. So he was like, "Yo, this is terrible." Better make sure you don't have any leaks. 60mm is big as you might go. I wouldn't do 76mm turbo and rear mounted. I'm talking about going down to a smaller turbo. I'm talking about something that spools up quick. Come on, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a baby turbo, but like I'm even thinking about like back in the days when they had like GT40s, like those smaller turbos, like or GT35s. But I know there's way more. No, I'm gonna get on my turbo game really soon. Bear with me. I'm doing my research. Once I know what I'm doing, on that note, I'm gonna pick this proper size turbo because I'm still on the fence on if I'm gonna go with like a comp oilless turbo, or I'm going to go with like an eBay boost on a budget turbo and run some cooling and oil lines to it. So I'm still on the fence about that too, but because that could drastically change the price of the build. If I go with an oilless turbo, that's expensive. But if I go with one of these $300, $400 eBay turbos that I can buy 2-3 of them for, you know what I'm saying? If one goes bad, I could just swap another one in and keep it moving, But we'll see. Reasonable goals. Can't wait for the content. Thank you, Grady. I appreciate that. Manual auto. I'm gonna do auto. The reason why I'm doing auto is number one, I'm not going for crazy power. Two, it's auto and it's all-wheel drive, so I'm not trying to kill myself. And three, I can always go up. And the reason why I'm gonna say I can always go up is if I want to keep the car and now make crazier power, I can always go to a VR transmission. I can always, if I want to build a motor, excuse me, guys, I can always go if I want to build a VQ motor down the line. You never know. The best thing to do is to take action, and I have to take action. I gotta stop talking about it now. I finally got myself together. I got a car, and honestly, I don't trust this Mercedes enough just to have it as my only car. Can't do it. The C63 treated me so well. The C63 AMG treated me so well. Other than that one time I had a misfire, that car treated me well. I drove it all over the freaking place. All over the place. But nonetheless, Boost, the G37 manual auto, okay. Do you still have the low speed buffer? Getting stains out of the wrap by hand is hard work. Got my Q70. Can't wait to take my first road trip for Virginia Beach back back to Canarsie. Yeah, I still have a low speed buffer at Dave Hill. Yeah, I used it. But the low speed buffer I used was a Roby. I should have did a product review on it. I necessarily would not recommend it. The reason being is when you want a buffer, you want the one where it's like two-handed, where you can go like this and zzz and cross, because it usually have two speeds. This one was more the cheap eco one where it's only one speed and you just, it was like a 10-inch pad. I I see why it's just there for the simpler, very simple thing. But if you want to do a proper detailing on a whole car, I would recommend going with a better buffer. But it got the job done. If I didn't, because the wrap I had was a matte wrap, so it sucks, and it's white, so all the dirt and stains gets into the grooves. But if you have like a gloss wrap, then it's a lot easier because it's glossy, so you can actually break that up a lot easier. And then after that, then you can wax it and everything, which will help the stains from not coming back. That's why I like gloss wraps way better compared to wrap, because matte, it sucks. I never did it, so anything past this car, I'm never gonna do matte on a car, and I probably will never even buy a car with matte on it ever again. So yeah. Okay, cool. Blah blah blah. I like Virginia, man. Virginia is nice. Widest. Brooks says widest 20-inch on rear-wheel drive Q60 with R8 500 package, trying to avoid drag radials. R8s or 555s. I don't like triple eights. But you said your rear-wheel drives. It depends on what you're trying to do, because if this is going to be your daily car, you should not put R888s on your car. You're going to hate it. It's going to be super noisy. So I wouldn't recommend R888s at all. Now, you can put a 315 in the rear of a Q60. You can put 315. You can do it on like a 2010. Okay, you would want to do at least a 10.5 inch wide wheel. But your offset is gonna need to be like a 45 to 55 offset, kind of like a Mustang type of offset. Like for instance, my HRE wheels that are on my E63 are actually 5x114, and they're 20x11, 45 offset. So I can put a pretty wide tire back there, about 315, but I got 295 back there, but I could put a wider tire. So you got to go with a wheel that's at least a 10.5. Some people would say push a 10, but no, 10.5 with an offset of between plus 55 to plus 45, and you can put a 315, 305 in the rear. You can even put 295 if you want to too. You can squeeze the 295 on a 10 if you find some 10s, 10-inch in the rear with an offset of, I would say still you can still push that 45, maybe even a 40 on a 295. Because the rear arch wheels of the Q60 is a lot wider than the sedans. Boost, have you heard anyone doing manual swap on the Q50, Q60 all-wheel drive? No. No one does manual swaps on all-wheel drives. It's probably because the way that the car is designed with the transfer case and the transmission, it's just not possible. It's not like Audis. Audis have a transfer case, but it's more of a mechanical transfer case because one wheel spins everything else. Like they're all connected. But our car, because it's like a torque converter in the transfer case, it always disengages. It's always fluid driven. It's never really connected. So you won't have a manual in our type of cars. No. But there are people who manual swap rear-wheel drive Q50, Q60s. You can do that. 60 mil will spool quick. Oilless turbos have grease that's okay. Oilless have grease that needs to be serviced every 6,000. Yeah, I'm not going to drive the car that often, James. But you're right. Thank you for answering the question. No problem, John. Much love. I appreciate you. AJ, why did you get rid of the C63? All right, so AJ, that's a good question. I'm gonna keep it quite honest with you because this is live. I think I already dropped the video talking about it. But the number one reason why I got rid of the C63 was because of the car market. If you remember, I was dropping all the videos talking about how the car market was actually coming down. The price, my trading value for the C63 was coming down. So I actually purchased the cheapest C63 in the nation 2 years ago. It wasn't a popular video. No one cares. But I purchased the cheapest one. I got it for $38.99. right? Or 38,999. So $39,000, right? Pretty decent mileage, and it was technically a Canadian car, right? And I kept on looking at the projected trading value of my car, and it was starting to go down. Now, I know if I don't trade it in soon enough, my offers would have been in the high 20s. I sold the car for, I think, $35,000 or $36,000. So I technically broke even. I bought the car for $39,000 2 years ago, sold it for $35,000 almost 2 years later. So I technically kind of drove the car kind of for free. If you think about it, guys, like I technically kind of drove it for free because I really didn't do too much to the car. The JB4 was a sponsored video. The car, I didn't do no tunes because I had the JB4. The intakes was a sponsored thing too through VRP. Shout out to VRP Speed and the lips, and that's really it. I didn't really do too much else. The car was a really reliable vehicle. The second reason why I got rid of the C63 was it was rear-wheel drive. I missed taking off from lights and having traction. That car wouldn't have any traction. So whenever I drove the Q60 when I had it, I love that with the Q60, I can always take off and be like, I miss that feeling. My Q60, my Q50, all my all-wheel drive cars. So that actually took away a lot from it. Now, lastly, I would sit there and say, well, I would say two more things. Is because I already said I wanted an all-wheel drive car. That's kind of the second reason. The third reason is modability. There wasn't much more to get out of the car. Like, yes, shout out to all my big C63 owners. That's part of the M177 gang. But either you do tune, downpipes, and after that you do turbos. That's it. You don't really do too much else. And when you do turbos, that is a pretty big investment. And the car is going to be making like, if you go like pure thousands, the car is going to be making like high 700s to the wheels, low 800s. And I didn't want to do that on the C63. I didn't want to do it. And the car is pretty reliable. It'll take the beating. It'll take the boost. But I just didn't want to do that. So I just lost love for it. And then finally, the natural progression is I wanted to always work my way up to higher supercars. That's part of the channel. I want to work my way up, guys. Think about it. Some of you guys know me since the Q50 gang, like not the blue one, the black one. Years later, I'm in a E63S, having issues, so I'm just working my way up. So that's why. Thoughts on the RS7 2015 body style? Anthony, I think the RS7 is a great car. I think it's an inflation hedge. And what I mean by that is there's enough people who want RS7s that the price will never really go. You will not really lose money. So if you go get an RX-7 for 2015, let's say that car is about $65,000. It may be expensive now. Drive the car for the next 2 years, no accidents, no crazy stuff. That car is probably going to still sell for about $65,000 because it hits the bottom of its depreciation. And they're not going to be making much RS7s with V8s upcoming in the soon future. There's always same thing for like the Evo and STI market. Those cars always hold value. If you try to go get a Evo 9 right now, it's like $30,000-$40,000. It's expensive. Same thing for the STIs. They're not going down in value. You may look at that car and be like, it's expensive, but after 2 years, if you try to trade it in or sell it, you'll realize the car is the same price. So I definitely recommend the RS7. The only issues that I remember from reading about that is the oil screen issue with the turbos, because it has like a strainer or a filter or something that you have to change. The transmission is pretty reliable, I believe. And I know they still have regular. They don't have air suspension for the RS7s. I believe it's the S7s that had the air suspension. So you're pretty much okay on that car. Just do your regular checkups. It's expensive for some of these oils and for the transmission and engine oil. These things get expensive. The E63's transmission fluid is like $40-$50 a quart. I think it was, right? Yeah, it was like $40 or $50 a quart. So it gets expensive, brother. Real talk, great build content. Thank you, King. You think the used car market is dropping this year? No. As Saul Robles, I don't think the market is dropping. I keep looking at all the factors. I do follow that news. What happened with the market is this now. We do have enough cars on the lot, but the thing is, the dealers aren't strapped to sell new cars. So you can't. Back in the day, gone are the days where you can go into a dealer lot and try to talk them down on MSRP. Now the car just sells for MSRP. That's it. And that's it. So until this is the biggest thing when it comes to me when I think about inflation, right? This is just me talking about this other stuff. I really wish I can turn this channel into all around talk channel about cars, but then also talk about other topics. Inflation goes down when you produce a lot of shit. So if you produce too many, let's say Dodge Charger, wide body Hellcats, and Infinitis, they'll bring down the price of the vehicles. The profit will, the demand would actually will stay constant, but then you'll have enough product that you can choose to sell it. But then you'll have a bunch of new cars sitting a lot for probably too long, and they want to get rid of it. They want to ride that fine line of the demand is still here, and we just have just enough cars for them. Because if we have too much cars and this demand is here, then we got to reduce the pricing of it, and they don't want to do that. It's all about money, capitalism. Shout out to capitalism. Thoughts on the RCF track? I'm not too positive, Tyler, on RCF track. I don't know. I know the RCF, but track, I'm not too positive. I really don't have any information. I don't, unless you're talking about the regular RCF. Makes sense. I'm in Canada. Prices on those are now okay. Cool. Truman, you do think the 3.7 Q50 is worth it past 80? Yes, 100%. Truman. Sorry if I took so long to answer that question. Hell yeah. This is a VQ motor in the 2014-2015 Q50. You have a 300,000 mile motor. Yes, not saying that the alternator may not go out or the starter, but the proper oil changes, you have a 300,000 mile motor in the VQ. I don't know about the VR though. Sorry for yelling in your ears, guys, but let me see what else. Not a daily. Brooks says, not a daily. Used mostly for the street. Scats hate me. Ultimate goal is Texas Mile this fall. Shout out to Brooks going to the Texas Mile. That's actually pretty cool. Let me go back a little, Brooks. So if you're doing it for a Texas Mile, then I would recommend. First thing, I don't know what the speed rating is on the R888s. I don't know what it is. And I know the R888s need to warm up, but if you're saying you're in a warmer climate, then maybe that'll be a little better. You always have a warmer temperature. And if you know it for that, then yeah, I would recommend the R888s. But I still like Mickey's more. You have the N55 S2s or something. Bear with me. Because we're actually I could actually pop up something here. You said N55 R2s. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right? Bear with me, guys. We're gonna be on Google. Yes, we're actually gonna make it even cooler now, right? We're gonna make this cool. I could actually put stuff up on video now. See, so you're talking about the 55 R2s, right? If you're talking about these ones, what's the speed rating? 101W? I don't really like these speed ratings. No, the load rating is all right, but I don't. It needs to say ZR of some kind. Yeah, something like the speed rating of like this, like a ZR NT55 G2s. You need something with a Z, because if you're going to a Texas Mile, you're going to be going above 166 miles an hour. Period. It's not, and also the load rating too. So I don't know what the load rating is. Bear with me, guys. I don't know what the load rating is on the Q50, Q60s right now. I really don't know. But I would recommend definitely going with the proper load rating too and the proper speed rating. Because you can go get a tire, but when you're going 160, 170, you need to make sure that you get the proper tire with the right proper speed rating and load index. I really wish I could help a little bit more, Brooks, but that's just not something I'm too familiar about. What car would you consider your first love? Damn, you actually blew a kiss at me, Daniel. But My first love would actually be my first like real car, my 1996 Nissan Maxima. That was the car that that taught me the most on it. Like I did the most, I made the most mistakes, and it taught me the most. That would say my first. That would be actually my first love. But shout out to you on that one though. Do you think it's worth buying a secondary water pump for a non-red sport with full bolt-on tune if you live in a hotter climate like California? What about an oil cooler? I already have AMS heat exchanger. Um, at Rashid, it depends on what you if it's for a daily. I don't really see the necessity of doing so. If you're already full bolt on the 85, you necessarily don't have to. Is there a benefit? Yes, there's always going to be a benefit for anyone who's coming at me right on our video. There's always a benefit on having better better flow of coolant, which actually have more consistent coolant temperatures. Yes, but sometimes depending on what you're doing, you don't really necessarily need it. If you want to spend the what is it, $300, $400, $500 and do so, you can. There is a benefit from it. But if you don't, but if you're not maximizing, if you're not using the maximum amount, it's up to you. But there is a benefit. I hate to be the guy to say don't get something because it's beneficial. No, like it definitely is. But I think sometimes when companies continue to make these parts for these cars, people just buy it because it's available. And I don't want you just to buy stuff because it's available. Like when I had my Q50, Q60, there was things that I'm like, that's cool, I want it. But then I was like, no, I'm good. Like I always wanted a lightweight drive shaft. But I was like, nope, my drive shaft isn't broken. I'm not changing it. See what I'm saying? You get there when either it breaks or you've already ran out of modifications and you're already so invested that you're like, you know what? Let me get the lightweight drive shaft. Let me get the secondary water pump. But that's just me. Let me see. Damn, I haven't been on these videos for a while. I've been talking my shit. When we getting a boosted and a bill? Woo. D. That's a good question. You know what people DM me and told me to get a B58 because my E63 was messing up? Yo, I was getting DMs like, yo, Boost, just come to the B58 gang. And I'm going to drop a video for all my Infiniti people. You know how much of you guys went to the B58? I can count in the last year almost, I would say 60 to 70 of my Instagram followers went to get a B58. Either 440, 340, 640, or an S58. All you guys went to BMW. So when I hear out there, y'all people talk y'all bullshit, I'm like, yo, y'all were the most people talking shit about it, and next minute, y'all switch teams so fast. So I don't know if I'm ever going to go to the B58 gang. I know Fresh Kicks is over there chilling right now. It's a fast car. It's very capable, but I don't know. I'm a little bit, even though my E63 isn't the best, boy, that bitch is comfortable. You guys don't understand. Those massage seats, those cool seats, going at 150, 60 miles an hour. Like, I've had some fun with that car outside of the race videos y'all had. I'm just talking about put the cruise control on at like 130, 140 with massage seats just chilling. And the power is there. It's not, like, the biggest thing. All right, I know it's a 700 horsepower car, right? But my Q50, Q60s were both either tuned or 93 or E30, right? And once I got to like 130, it wasn't, the car didn't really have as much steam. This is where you need pure turbos and stuff like that, right? This car, I mean, it has more power, of course, but that bitch just keep going, and it goes quick. Like, I was like, God damn, like, it goes quick. So this is necessarily my fastest car I've ever technically owned. So it's like, it's up there. I'm not saying I cruise at. I don't really use the car for that time, but I recently went to Atlantic City about a week or 2 weeks ago, and I was just moving. Like, I was like, this bitch is going. I was even sitting there thinking, like, if a cop pop up, I think I should just keep on it. Don't go get the foot off the gas, unless I get a check engine light, and then I get arrested. So let me get off of that. But I found a clean one for $16K. All right, Truman. You found a clean one. I think the $16K. I did say that if you can find a Q50 in the mid-teens to low teens, jump onto it. Don't spend more than $20,000 on a 2014, 2015 Q50. They're not supposed to be that expensive. Tuned a couple of sixes, okay. Can fit a 305 and up on a G37 sedan and Q50. Anthony Tucker, yes, you can fit a 305 in the rear on a Q50, Q60 sedan. I mean a Q50 G37 sedan, but you're gonna have to go with a 55 offset. You have to. Not like the Q60. The Q60s could go up to like a 45 offset or like a 10.5, but you have to go with a 55 offset on like a 10.5 wheel, period, for you to fit 305s in the rear. That's it. And hopefully you don't have BBK, because if you have BBK, it makes it a lot harder. All right? But you definitely could fit 305s in the sedan form of the G37 and Q50, but you just need a 55 offset. I wouldn't even push 50 offset. It may be hard depending on, because every 305, sometimes the sidewalls are designed a little different with more rubber, so it depends. The next track edition came out in 2020. Okay, Tyler, I'm sorry. So I'm not too familiar with the RCFs, Tyler. I do apologize. I really can't give much information on that. So I would just say I don't know. That's something I'm really noticing to say. Like, I just don't know. I just don't know. But thank you, though, Tyler, for the question. Hey, Boost, what's up with the G37? You keep saying you're going to buy one. Purple. Sorry, Purple. Rewind this. Just go back to the early part of the live. It's there. Just move to the early part of the live. I gave at least 10 minutes talking to it, so I don't want to repeat it. So sorry about that. Sorry about that, Purple. Check it out, all right? I tuned a couple of 6.1 Hemi cars them to give the scats hell. Scat owners refuse to believe that the 6.1s are intake, muffler, delete, thermostat, and tune only. 100%. 6.1s are actually pretty popping cars. But the crazy part is I'm starting to see a lot of Magnums now. That's crazy. Like, I thought Magnums disappeared off the earth, but I'm starting to see a lot of people popping up with Magnums. And I ain't talking about Trojans here. So, that's blowing my mind. Brooks, thanks. You've been listening for 2 years, man. I appreciate that, Brooks. Much love. Boost, get a new Prius. Yo, those new Toyotas are sexy. Don't judge me, man. They're making some. Let's put it out there. Mazda, Hyundai, Kia, all those cars that we make, like some people make fun of, they are making some good-looking, attractive cars. Very attractive cars. May not be powerful, but they're super attractive. And when I see a car guy get a car that's just more of a traffic car, and they just add some wheels and a drop, and it's like, wow, that is sexy. I love it. I have a 1990 Maximo Rob, the dude who's supposed to be the best. Damn. 1990 Rob was supposed to be the best auto transmission builder, because he kept on screwing up. Damn. Yup, millions of cars were never made, plus MSRPs are going up. B58 gang in the chat. Shout out to B58. Just get an S58. No need to get at B58. Now, Supreme, right? Or Supremacy, right? Shout out to Slow Speed. I don't know if anyone follows Slow Speed's channel. He brought that question up. He said, there's no point of building the motor of an S58 when you could just get a B58. He said there's no point. Because he said the architecture is very similar. I may be a little bit novice with it. I know that, of course, the S58 is probably built stronger than the B58. But shout out to No Hezi, One Stock F30, and plenty of the people that's in the 340 gang, right? Most people are not trying to make 1,000 horsepower. You can make a shout to Edwin Young. He got that fast Supra on Auto Glory. He still has a stock motor from what I remember reading, but he has a built pure transmission with like a 67, 68 or whatever turbo. That car is making serious freaking power, right? And it's technically still necessarily a stock block. So unless you're trying to make 1,000 horsepower, most of us want to make the new 500 horsepower nowadays is 700 horsepower. That's my personal opinion. Like back in the day, like 10 years ago, if you were making like 500 horsepower, you were considered quick. Now you need to be making at least 700 horsepower to be like you're quick, or run like fives, 60 to 130. If you run like fives to 4, 60 to 130, people are like, all right, you got it. Like you quick, you fast. So, but to build the S58, most people are not gonna do it. Like I don't see the sense in it either. Like knowing that you can get a G80, G82, X3M, X4M, put a pure possible 1,000 or 850 on it, whatever pure if they choose to do it. I don't know if pure actually came out a turbo for it. Port injection in E and a transmission tune. Your car, if it's the G series body, you're going to be running mid to high nines. Most people are okay with that, and they didn't have to touch too much. And for the X3, X4M guys, they're running low tens. So there's really not much to really add there. And they're trapped like 140 miles an hour. That's very quick. That's like a lot of LS people who run like mid nines, Hellcat people who run like mid nines. Like those are very powerful cars, and this BMW is doing it with so much less power adders. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's a luxury car, so it's like I don't see people actually doing it. To me, I don't think it really necessarily makes sense. And anyone who chooses to build an S58, they're probably chasing eights. And just to say that at that point, I think it's just glory. Like, yo, you want glory runs and you just want to be like, I'm the first proper S58 in the eights. Because what will be next, right? What you going to do? You're probably going to build a transmission, right? You're going to build a transmission. Pure's going to build the transmission even stronger. Okay, cool. Now you have a built transmission, which is probably, I'm assuming, very similar to the SZF8 in the regular B58, right? So it's just stronger, whatever, right? And then the motor, we don't really know where the motor is yet. We don't know how strong those rods is, but we know if the B58 could do 700 wheel, 800 wheel, then S58 might be able to crack I've seen some people did 800, might be able to crack 900 to 1,000. If I see that on a larger turbo, like a pure 1,000 turbo or maybe a full frame replacement turbo, if somehow, some way, someone could hit that 900 territory with sealed motor and stock transmission, then I'm like, you just really a crackhead. Because you want to make over 1,000 wheel. It's going to cost you so much money to crack it, to make over 1,000 wheel. There's no point. Just stop where you're at. At that point, you're burning money. That car is expensive. It is super expensive at that point to probably build it. I wouldn't do it. Like, at that point, just get a GTR. There's so much GTRs that are already built on the market now for about 90 to like 110,000, where people already built the motor, built the trans. And they already got these huge turbos and everything on it, and the car's pretty much already done, going for like $120,000. At that point, I'll just go for that. Fuck it. I mean, but I know it's a BMW, so I'm in my rant right now. Let me just get out my rant. I'm just talking my shit because I start going. I just keep going. And yes, James, are Q50 VR30s even worth it anymore? Because people making these cars look bad. At Cavency, it's up to you, man. I don't think it's the people. People made Hellcats look bad and 392s go bad. People made Mustangs look bad, but at the end of the day, those cars are still dope. And I think you should get the car because you like it, not because of how people make it look. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed the Q50 gang. I still enjoy the Q50 gang. So get the car because you like it, not because of how people make it look, No matter if it's a Camry, Prius, Cavalier. I've been to so much car meets in the last 2-3 months that I once again, I appreciate going. If you watch any of my car meet videos that I went to, like car shows or car meets, there's plenty of regular cars there. And I will sit there and talk about this car for 2-3 minutes because it's different. Gone are the days where we used to see these different builds and everything. Nowadays, everything is so easy. It's B58 BMW this or Mercedes that or Q50 this, and it's simple stuff. No, like I want to see the older cars. I want to see the older builds, and I don't mean stuff from the 60s and 70s. I'm talking about stuff from the 90s, early 2000s, and even early 2010s. Bear with me, guys. My voice still isn't all the way back. I agree if you got the funds for it. Best bet. What up, Boost? What's going on, Trent? What's going on, Trent? It's been a minute, brother. I would like to have a square setup. What is the widest tire to go on a Q60 road drive comfortably without having problems? I don't race. I just want it to look nice and ride smooth. Some of the simplest, if you want a simple square setup for a Q60 road drive, no matter if it's the 2017 and up, or if it's the G37 slash Q60, you can do 10.5, right? And you can do an offset of 35. 10.5-inch wide wheel with like a 35 offset, and you can put like a 285 on there if you want a good 275 to 285, right? You don't have to go that wide. Let me pull that back. You could do like a 265, 275 square setup on a 10.5-inch and a plus 35. Yeah, you could do a 10 too if you want, but a 10 you might have to push like a plus 25, and you have to go like a 265 tire. So do 10.5 all around plus 35 offset, and like a 255, 265 tire. You could go up to a 275. That's a pretty meaty stance or decent stance tire. And you could do this in a 19-inch tire, a 19-inch wheel, and you can do this in a 20-inch wheel. 18-inch wheels, that's a totally different territory. I don't recommend going to that because it's not going to look right. It's just, I mean, not saying it won't fit. It's just, it's way more of a race stance, and not a lot of people like 18-inch wheels on these cars. Boost, how you feel about Maximus become discontinued? Yo, it gotta go. Maximus gotta go, bro. The 4-door sports coupe or sedan or whatever they used to call it back in the day, because I had 2 Maximas. It's over. After 2007, Maximas were meant to fail. Because once they made CVT transmissions from the 07s and up, I remember racing, yes, back in the day. I remember racing CVT transmission Maximas out in Long Island back in the days with my 2002 3.5 Maximas. And I would beat them because I had a transmission. It's because I actually had gears. Like, their cars were quick, but I always beat them because it's like I had actual gears. Like, that's really it. I feel like the new Nissan Z was died down quick. Oh yeah. A lot of people are purchasing the new Nissan Z. A lot of people are. I've been following. They have Facebook groups. People are purchasing their Nissan Z. But the thing is, the people that are purchasing Nissan Zs aren't people that you really think they are. This Nissan Zs that are being purchased aren't being purchased by 18-year-olds. People keep forgetting they're still $40,000, $50,000 cars. So they're still in a bracket where it's kind of unaffordable for the 18 to 21-year-old. They really can't afford it yet. That's why the $15,000 to $20,000 car is a lot more affordable. So you're not seeing a bunch of YouTube or channels or anything like that because it's still an expensive car. But give it about 3 to 4 years, once it becomes a little bit more affordable, like in the mid-20s or high 20s, then you'll start seeing it catch up a lot more. Right now, it's not going to get as much love. Same thing for the Supra. You don't have a bunch of 18-year-olds having a Supra. It's just that the Supra was getting so much love because there was a conglomerate amount of people who had money that was thrown at it. And plus, it was also during like the pandemic and whatever bull BS we were dealing with, where we all behind our cell phone screens or our computers and watching what everyone else was doing. And everyone had money over a fist. So times have changed. I think my JB4 just made my twin turbo V6 a simple turbo V6. That ain't good, bobbers. I don't like that. I saw a video of the Nissan Z with just a race box 2-in-1 11.0. Could have been lying about mods, but that's what they said. First thing, I know a lot about Racebox. Shout out to Racebox. Shout out to Hussein and Alex from Racebox. So I've actually had Hussein, the owner of Racebox, on this channel for an interview on this channel. So definitely go check it out. Look for Racebox interview or Bring the Boost with Racebox. I have a full interview where they actually answer all the questions and everything. I haven't seen the video with 11.0. I haven't seen that. Been trying to get my M3 Comp X Drive, but these dealers don't have them and don't want to sell them what they have unless it's marked up drastically. I ain't the one, so I keep my Type S TLX until, of course, Super Dimension. Hell yeah. But you might have to buy one 2022 model. I believe I've been seeing them in the low 80s, but even then, I still think that price is still too expensive because we're in 2023 now, and usually the natural depreciation for most vehicles is about 10% in the first year. So if the MSRP is about, let's say, $90,000, It kind of sounds right for it to be at 81, low 80s, but even then, I think it should be lower because most of these MSRPs are probably in the mid 80s, and they're trying to still sell them for like the MSRP a year later. No, so we'll see. Also, I want to say this on video. I don't know what's gonna happen with this E63s. If you guys don't already know, I'll just quickly say it. Like I do have a lemon law lawyer. They haven't told me if they're gonna go after the case yet because they're still reviewing the information. But if the car ends up going and gets lemon law, which means I technically would get some of my money back. I don't know what car I would get next, and I hate to say it, G80 was one of the cars on my list, and it's not as luxurious as the E63s, but it is a freaking fast freaking car. And I've got to see them at the track. I got to see them at the Scramble event in Long Island. They're fast cars, man. They're very fast cars. Those cars don't fucking play. M5s are cool, but G80s, G82s don't play. They don't freaking play. So we'll see. We'll see how the rest of this year look like. I want a Hellcat, but I don't want to get carjacked or come outside and find it missing. James, you already know, man. We're car people. We can always wire in kill switches on our own. We don't have to go to a shop to actually do it. There's plenty of ways to pull fuses for the fuel pump and all that. But even then, most people, they don't even start it up. They'll put the car in neutral and push it out. So at this point, Hellcats are like Civics back in the day where you have to park them and then put them on jack stands and take the wheels off. You know what I'm saying? Like it's insane that we're at that level, but at this point, I don't even know what to do. Like, people want your stuff. Like, I've known people close to me, not my actual friends, but people I know, that all their Hellcats and Trackhawks got stolen already in New York City. Stolen. And it's like, at what point, what can you really do? You know? Because, like, yeah, you can get the immobilizer. Cool. Right? So the car won't start. You kill the fuel pumps. You kill the ignition. Cool. But then you still got people who will pop it in neutral and just push it out, push the car. Or you'll even have tow truck drivers which work with them and they'll just tow the car. Like, it's insane. So it's like, if they can get to your car, they could take it no matter what. So unless you got a garage or you have another car you park in front of it or something, and then you have so much security systems that go live and loud, at this point you need a flamethrower shooting out the side of the goddamn Trackhawk or Hellcat. It's insane. So I don't know. I want to put this out there too. If Hellcats were all-wheel drive, I would really consider a wide body red eye Charger. I love those cars. I think they look amazing. But I don't like the real drive life, man. But you never know. At this point, I gotta switch it up. I gotta try different things because I'm at that point in my life where I'm like, I could take the risk and enjoy and drive other dope cars, and I'm doing that right now, man. And it's fun. Okay, the Q gonna be around for a long time. People always gonna want one. 100%. Shout out Vora. Shout out to Dubai. Shout out to Nell Vora from Dubai. Much love. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. I told you I'm a little sick. Edward has an FX35. That V. Yo, shout out to the VQ 3.5 gang. I haven't been in that gang in a long time. Shout out to my boy. He actually has a QX70, which is pretty much the FX37. Shout out to him. He got that car looking clean. And I'm starting to see a lot more people still have love for those cars too. Same thing for like the Lexus trucks. Like there's a amount of people who love older Lexus trucks and Infiniti trucks, and they'll never move from them. Bear me, guys. I would not daily drive with semi-slicks. Neil Vora, I wouldn't. Why would you? First thing, the tire wear is like 100. Bear with me, guys. The tire wear is like 100 on semi-slicks. So why would you daily drive with them? You're literally, as you drive it, your money's going in the drain. So I wouldn't do that. Also, rain. Yeah, if it rains, unless You get the ones with the channels or whatever the channels for water, but even then, you don't want to be caught out here with semi slicks on a car. It doesn't make sense. I wouldn't recommend it. Just get a proper all season tire, depending on where you live, or a summer tire if you're not around any snow, and call it a day. Or a higher end Michelin tire will suffice. No Pirellis. Stay away from Pirellis. Hate those tires. Hey Boost, what's up? Any plan for a new car for the channel? At MD Allen, please check if you're listening to me. Check out like the first 20 minutes of this live. You can actually go back. The next car will be a G37. It's gonna be my second car, not replacing the E63, but it's gonna be the second car. And there's a whole build, turbo, and everything that I actually want to do with it. So I'm not gonna get into this part, but just go to that early part and watch it because I broke it down. But thank you for the question. Boost, you think the pedal commander and JB4 is a good idea for reliability? At this point, I wouldn't even touch the pedal commander. It's too expensive. You can use a Burger Tuning. Burger Tuning has their own pedal commander for about half price. And once again, the pedal commander, if anyone's watching, pedal commander or throttle response commander or whatever you call it, all it does is turn up the amount of voltage from your gas pedal to make the car a little bit more reactive. It doesn't make the car faster. It just makes the reaction faster. That's all. So it makes it feel like your car is more powerful, but it just boosts the signal. The JB4 is still a pretty cool thing to use on any boosted car if you don't want to actually tune it. But some cars, such as BMWs, it's just easier to go with like a flash tune because it's so cheap and easy to do compared to a JV4, But it all depends on what your goal is with the car long term. If you want to just try it out, play with it a little bit, yes. But if you know that you want to start making serious power and do more, go with a full-fledged tune. How can I make a VR30 ride more stiff? At Cav, you got to get coilovers, bro. Check out my coilover videos. I talked about anything with coilovers versus springs, coilovers versus air suspension. I talked about installing coilovers on my Q50. I install coilovers on my Q50 and my Q60. So those videos are out there, and that's how you make it run more stiff. Get coilovers, period. BC Racing, there's a couple other brands out there, but I have plenty of videos talking about it. So look into coilovers. Edward, VQ platform, 240 plus miles on my motor, still running strong. 100%. He has 240,000 miles on his VQ. These are 300,000 mile cars, the VQs, bro. Especially the 2014, 2015. Anything 2014, 2015 VQ and up, even if it's like in the other cars, it's going to run forever. Because that car was refined for that motor was refined for 15 years. That car, I've heard those cars run so smooth, quiet. Boost, what is your opinion on the Q50 hybrids and are they good cars? Rashid, shout out to Rashid, much love. Now, I don't have a large amount of people who follow me with Q50 hybrids or even Infiniti M35H hybrids. But the few that have followed me have had issues with either the battery or they have had issues, something with the charging cable or something with the actual electric motor, because I believe the electric motor goes between the engine and transmission, but they've had issues with it, and it's necessarily something they really can't fix like that because Infiniti doesn't really have, not say they don't have the parts, but not enough of them broke for them to know how to fix it really. So I've noticed that Infiniti hybrid people kind of had issues, but then I also know Infiniti hybrid people who never really had issues. They don't really say anything, so I don't really know. So my honest opinion, because the car is almost 10 years old now. Remember, if you have a 2014 Q50 hybrid, it's 10 years later. The electric pack, depending on the mileage, isn't as good. So at some point, you're going to have to replace the battery pack. And amongst other electrical components that may be coming to the end of their shelf life, you may need to replace with something new or something used with lower mileage. But do you really want to go buy an electric battery pack from a wrecked Q50? Especially for a car you may keep for the next 3-4 years. No, you would want to get something new, and it's quite expensive. So I would say motor, transmission-wise, is good. But the electrical stuff now, that's a lot more up to, I hate to say God, because it's electrical. Think about it. Teslas and all these other electrical stuff, it's cool and how everybody loves Teslas, but no one's thinking about 5 to 10 years when you got to replace the battery pack. It's going to be super freaking expensive. Um, Good question though. Shout out to you on that. I should definitely cut up this live later down the line and just make quick shorts because there's some good information I was putting out there. Shout out to y'all. CTV transmissions are junk, 100%. I used to hang with Kevin with the first red 0607 Max. I might know him. He passed away a few years ago. You talking about Kevin with the that had like the first turbo 6 Gen Maxima? Him? YouTube's acting goofy. Yeah, YouTube's acting super weird. I would tune the crap out of a Hellcat if I had one. Cooling mods, 100%. If so, I had a Q50 hybrid and can't do shit. Okay. How do you feel about the news with NYC shooting GPS trackers? So J4 again, J4C. I'm not too informative on the GPS trackers. I've been seeing people talk about it. We gotta wait and see. But for the people who's watching, maybe you could get a quick sound clip. The reason why they want to do a lot of this countermeasures is because in New York City, we have a lawless system where people can actually evade police because police are taught to break off engagement pursuits. Period. Because they don't want any damage to property or people. So, for instance, shout out to Wear 981. Shout out to Bree Q50. Shout out to any other swimmer in New York City. The reason why these guys act wild is because they know the police are going to disengage. They are not going to pursue them because they can either crash into someone else's car, crash and hurt themselves, and the families will sue the police department and the city, and guess what happens? They get paid because someone died because you were given chase. It's kind of the same thing with motorcyclists. The reason why they're supposed to disengage from motorcyclists is because at the end of the day, the motorcycle person can go kill himself very fast, very quickly, because he's trying to get away from the police. But if you go to other states, Texas, Virginia, you don't do this shit. You respect the law a lot fucking more in these states because these police are not disengaging. Okay? Spike strips are a real thing. Helicopters are a real thing. They will fucking catch you. You're not getting away. So, once again, we live in a lawless city. These democratic blue cities that are full of fucking bullshit. Once again, I'm not trying to make this political, but I see this shit in blue cities and people just take advantage of it. Period. And that'll be that. Would you trade the E63 for a GTR? No. I can't even compare the two cars. A E63S and a GTR are not in competition with each other. No. I would have, if it was up to me, if I was gonna switch it, I would have a GTR and like a Q50 3.7 as like my daily. I can never just have a GTR alone itself because I know the GTR it's not for that. I like comfortable cruising cars, guys. If you guys haven't noticed, I like 4-door cars. I think the GTR is hard. Remember, 2 years ago, I was looking to buy a GTR and ended up getting a C63 because I got it for $39,000. The GTR that I was looking at the time being was about $67,000. $20,000 difference. I should have got the GTR because the prices went up $30,000 after that, and I probably would have made money. But who would have known? You know? Boost, I saw your channel, and after going through your channel, I convinced me to now shout out to you, Neil Vora. I'm glad I could help. Go back to Nissan and get a GTR. Peace, bro. Long time no see. Shout out to Miles. Marcelo, I'm not saying GTRs are bad. It's just I can't compare where I'm going. Naturally, once again, the Mercedes stuff I'm doing isn't really for the channels for me. It's for my image and the cars I like to drive and the lifestyle I have. So I dress up in suits. I look a certain way, and I don't want to get out of GTR with suit on, bro. Like, it's not the same. Women treat me differently when I hop out the Mercedes than when I hop out a car that's not. Like the Q50, once again, still a nice car. Girls was just like, okay, cool, it's a nice car. Q60, definitely. But, like, I realized my lifestyle, what I was doing, I got treated way different when I got the Mercedes C63. And then when I got the E63, once again, they treat me way different. Not only women, men, and the people around me. It's a huge difference. So I'm going along with the image thing because, I mean, I might be wearing a hoodie, but when I go out, I dress up. I look a certain way. And I go out to brunch or I go out and eat and I go to these high profile places, and the GTR is just not going to fit in my lifestyle, at least not for now. you know. But we'll see what the future may have. Not saying the GTO will never be on the channel because I never thought an E63 or a C63. I never thought a Q60 would be on the channel. So we'll see. You gotta listen to the universe, guys. You gotta listen to the universe. Much love, Miles. I have one. Okay, cool. At 200K facts. And bear with me, guys. 2017 100K strong. Cool. Is it true that the semi-slicks destroy your transmission? I don't. Well, first thing, if it's a G37, you're putting semi-slicks on it. There's no point. The car doesn't make enough torque for it to really matter like that. But semi-slicks don't really destroy your transmission. That stuff is stuff that destroys your transmission or your axles or your drive shaft is when you go to the track and they put a lot of track prep. That's where those semi-slick or slick tires could really break what was going to break anyways. But that's for high torque cars, and that's pretty much it. I have a 3537 better you get part everywhere. Black Kevin, but I didn't know the dude with the turbo. Okay, Black Kevin. Oh, Black Kevin. Oh, shoot. I know what you're talking about. Wow, that's a minute, bro. I know exactly what you're talking about, Black Kevin. Okay. I know. I remember. That was some years ago, man. You think Rev 9 coilovers are good? Trent, I don't think so. Rev 9 isn't. Once again, a lot of these coilovers are made in some of the same factories, but Rev 9 doesn't really make high-end quality parts. I remember back in the years ago, I was trying to get in contact with the supplier or their marketing department, and it pretty much didn't exist. So, yeah, I don't think they're that good. I would recommend staying with the brands that exist for the last 10, 15 years and just go with that. It's like in Maryland, police will chase you till the end. Yes, GTRs break constantly. Yes. What do you think about the Stillen supercharger for the VQ platform? Is it better bang for the buck or more reliable than that in turbos? Rashid, yes, 100%. Well, any supercharged setup, which is usually Stillen, but you also have Soho and these other companies. Shout out to Double R. Go look at my Bring the Boost series. I have Double R here. He talks about the different supercharged companies out there who make their own variations. Superchargers are more reliable because they're easy to install and they're not as torque heavy. Because turbos, the torque could come on very quickly, and cause a lot of damage. There's a lot of things that could happen with turbo applications that can go wrong very fast. Superchargers are a lot more predictable, and I recommend those for reliability purposes. Constantly. Thanks for all the knowledge. No problem, Vor. No problem. Well, I don't think I'm gonna be on too long tonight because it's been a while. Hopefully, you guys have hit the like button because I don't have much of you guys up. But just if you can hit the like button, hit it now, please. Because I don't think this video is gonna get a bunch of views or anything like that. I haven't been on live in a while, about 2 months. Because remember, I didn't have my car until like March, guys. Like seriously, like I didn't get my cars like mid-March or like late February. So I was out here hurting. I didn't have my car for almost 2-3 months. So that's why I was making those videos behind the goddamn computer. But if you guys, I want to put this on video right now, anyone watching. Peep game. The last 2-3 weeks, like out the whole repair series, I've been outside. And the next week, you're about to see more videos when we doing A63, and I'm outside. People going to be like, it's not going to get much views because, once again, this is mostly Infiniti people. But it's like, people got tired of me behind the computer. But, like, I'm outside. I'm doing stuff. I'm going to have another race event that's going to pop up, too, in the next couple of days. You guys are going to see how the car did. And I'm going to install some more parts on the car and amongst other things. So, I'm making the car boostinmotion worthy for time being. And we're going to get cooking on this G37 real soon. When I do get it, I'm aiming for early May to get the G37. I'm really actually aiming. I already have money aside for it. Cash. Yes, cash. But I'm actually I probably don't want to pay cash. I want to finance it. I want to put as little money down for that car as possible and just start buying the parts. Click, and knock it out fast. I think that's going to be pretty good. So I'm super excited about it. And I actually found someone that was selling a red G37 coupe with black leather interior auto. He was selling it on Marketplace for $7,200. The only reason I didn't hit him up is because he had an '08, which means it's rear-wheel drive. Yeah, it's rear-wheel drive. I was like, damn. Also, '08s also have the other ECU, so they don't have EcuTech tuning. I want a '09 and up, or I would have to, swap the ECU and everything like that. So I had to do '09 and up because, I don't care for uprev. So once again, I'm super excited about that. Okay, what a boost. Looking to get into a later model Q50 Red Sport as a second car. Can't get over how sexy they look with some minor. Yeah, they look great. Got a G37 coupe that I'm looking to build with a BP turbo. Okay, so what's the question, Seven? I mean, if you want to get a later model Red Sport, I mean, the later model is pretty much the 2018 because that's when the bumpers change. There's really no point in getting like a 2022 because there's really not much more changes after like 2020. After them adding like Apple CarPlay in 2020-ish, there's really no updates. But even before that, you can get a 2018 and still buy a module and add Apple CarPlay. And to be honest, if you want to go as far back as 2017, 2016 and have a different bumper, you save another money there too. So I would always recommend a 2018, 2019 because it has a change in bumpers and they have the refreshment. Anything past that, I hate to say it, people are just blowing their money because they want a specific color or Apple CarPlay. So don't no one punch me in my face, please. I'm just being honest. Just being honest. Thanks, dude, for the response. Respect, image is important. I guess I was following my German car issues videos you did, and when you had the Q50, Q7, no issues, but I understand. Looking at the Model 3 performance, seems Tesla is the king of EV technology. Well, to say the whole image thing, appreciate that, Albert. Much love. Thank you for the super chat. Once again, I really do appreciate that one. Thank you. Wait, why doesn't Albert, once again, thank you. But why doesn't my videos pop anything up? Like, I don't have like a chat or anything I could add. Why don't I have a chat? It's supposed to have like a little chat or a group or anything like that, and it's not doing that. I don't know why. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm supposed to be able to pop this stuff up on the screen, but it won't let me do it. I have to figure that out another day. But thanks again, Albert. I appreciate that. But yeah, once again, I love the fact that my my Infinitis were more reliable. But technically, the issues with my E63 weren't the car's fault. The motor, someone changed the oil and left the drain plug loose, so the motor blew. That was before me. They dropped the motor, dropped the transmission, put the transmission in without putting transmission fluid in it. I got the car, transmission went. That's not the car's fault. The dealership sucks. All those dealerships suck. Then they went, changed the transmission, gave me back the car again, and the pump for the transmission fluid died. For the transmission coolant died. For whatever reason. I think it was an F up. I think they didn't put whatever cooling system in there, and that pump died because it wasn't being lubricated. Right? Bear with me. I think it might be a quick lag. I think that pump wasn't being lubricated, and then boom, that's where everything went bad. But right now, yeah, this issue I have, I think is the real first issue with the car. 100%, the real first issue, because it's not like I'm driving at 120 miles an hour racing all the time. But when I do, I don't want the car going into limp mode. You know what I'm saying? I want to get away from the popo. Now, the Model 3 performance, I want to say something about the performance Model 3. You could get the rear-wheel drive model of the Model 3, and it's like a $40,000, $38,000 car new, right? But if you want the performance, it's almost double the price because it's all-wheel drive. It's insane. Shout out to Elon Musk. God knows what he's doing, but another $30,000 because of the electric motors in the front, you could kiss my fucking ass. You kiss my ass. You went to a whole nother level of cars. He should have made it, if you want the rear-wheel drive model, 38, 42, whatever, and if you want the all-wheel drive, like 51, 55. Because the cars that will be around be a lot better, but $80,000 for performance is ridiculous. I didn't like that part. The name is Neil. Sorry, Neil. I appreciate that. I kept on saying Nell. I apologize. Thank you, Neil. I appreciate you. Post more content on the E63S. Nice car. Nice swerve. Definitely check out my videos. Check out the last month. I've been dropping content. And the next week I'm dropping content. I know that this is the same thing I did with the Q50. I'm actually kind of getting more with the E63S because it's going to be a car that a lot of people in the German world are going to start to purchase because they're a lot more affordable now. At $120,000, not a lot of people have access to it. But now that a lot of them are a little bit older, 2018s, 2019s, people are going to be looking to see what the common issues are, problems, common modifications. The C63 just didn't get that much love. It was a 2015 car. It was out for quite a while, but I guess not a lot of people get it. Most people who wanted a C63 ended up getting an F80, F82. So people usually go that route. Then the C63, the C63 coupe and sedan route. But the E63 is in that platform of I want a V8 twin turbo all-wheel drive cars, and it's really only M5, Audi, RS6 or RS7, or E63 GT63. See what I'm saying? So there's more people that actually would watch this content. I really like, they really rocking the same gauges like since 2007. Facts, Truman. When's the next video on the Benz drama? Woo! Sammy or Semi. Yeah. Within the next couple days, you're probably going to be like, Boost, burn the car. All I'm saying is you're going to probably say Boost, burn the car. Once again, the car's outside. I can drive it. Everything works. But I'm taking it to the racetrack again, and you're going to say burn the car. Just leave it at that. Have you, Boost, when weather gets nicer, do car meets in NYC or Cars and Coffee type meet? The last meet that I did was about 2 years ago, and I actually did it in Brooklyn, and it was a good turnout. A lot of people came out, and it was super dope. It was with GQVQs. And I think that turned out quite well. And a lot of people actually came out from different states to show me some love and support. So knowing that I'm in the Mercedes gang now, I don't know how I'm going to really do that because it's going to be Infiniti and Mercedes guys. But we're going to see what we're going to do, And I have made some friends in the Mercedes world that are pretty known and prominent. So we'll see. We'll see. Much love. We'll see. Have you seen the new Nissan Nismo design? What are your thoughts on it? Rashid, I definitely had dropped some videos talking about the Cameo version, but I haven't seen the fully uncovered version. So while talking to you right now, I'm going to go double check and see if there's something that I missed. Nismo Z. I'm going to see if there's any updates on it or any news of an uncovering in the news. Let me see. News. Bear with me. I just want to check and see if there's anything in the news. Yeah, nothing popped up. It's still about a month ago. So, yeah, I've talked about that before. I've actually talked about that Nissan Z before on my channel. It was about 2 weeks ago. You can definitely check out the video, and I broke down the Cameo cover and what I think it's actually going to look like. But they definitely seem like they changed the front end from the version that was like 3 months ago that was going to have like it was like an air dam at the top and then the square at the bottom. Now it seems like it's just going to be a smaller square, lower profile, and some kind of fog lights or maybe ducts that go to the brakes or something. You have always given us great knowledge on the platform you cover. I can't wait till you see my moonlight white purple IPL with red leather guts. Oof. Woo! I'm not gonna lie. A drop top IPL is sexy. Just a drop top G37 coupe is sexy when it's done right. Oh God. Oh. And also my G37 when I get it, it's only gonna be two colors. I'm sorry. Anyone who's watching, it's only gonna be like two colors. It's either gonna be white or red. And I want red more than white. Silver, like I used to love the first silver. Like if anyone remembers the older Nissan silver that was like on the Maximas, it was like some titanium silver. I really wish they kept on making that silver in the Infiniti cars. I really wish. Like I wish they didn't go with that gray. I really wish they kept that like titanium silver color. That color was so gorgeous. But if they would have made that in the G37 coupes too, I would have definitely got that color. But it's gonna be red or white. Black, I'm sorry, I can't do black cars. They're hard to keep clean. They scratch very easy, and I did it already. Blue, I don't really see often enough. And the gray is super common. Super common. I see people in gray, so yeah. And what's the best 2.5-inch resistor for airbag? I wouldn't know. Wait, first thing, you can get any 2.5 ohm resistor for airbags from anywhere, Birdman. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not. You can get a resistor from anywhere. Those things are like cents on cents. You'll probably get like freaking 30 of them for like 10 cents from like Alibaba or eBay or Amazon. So you can use any OEM resistor, period. The Melback Black on IPL is also sexy. Yeah, the Melback Black is dope because it's not as common, but to me it's too close to black. And you have to keep it super clean for people to really be like, ooh, that's sexy. And the thing is, I hate to say about Melback, it can pass as a black car super fast if you don't look at it hard enough. It's like, oh, that car's clean. No, you gotta be like, oh wait, hold on, that's nice. Wait, it's purple? You know? Yeah, Birdman. That's what I'm saying, Birdman. So it's like it's not really a brand of like OEM resistors you get. It's like they're pretty much all like the same quality. I just noticed that you can get the resistors that's just the resistor itself. And then you have the ones with the harness, and people like doll it up a lot nicer and look a little better. But they're like cents on cents on cents. They're super cheap, and most people do it. Yeah, thanks, man. Alibaba. But it is what it is. What are you looking to do with the G37? At Sammy Santos, sorry, I'm not gonna get deep into it. Sorry, you have to go to the start of the video. I talked about it within the first 20 minutes, and I gave at least 10 minutes talking about it. So I don't want to do it at the end because it's going to lead me to another part. But just know that it's going to be 2009 to 2015 G37 Q60. It has to be an all-wheel drive. It has to be an auto. And yes, your boy Boost wants to boost it. I think that's good enough. But nonetheless, I think I've been on here for about an hour and 40 minutes. And if there's any other questions, drop them right now before I do go. Guys, I don't come on live pretty often, and it's been such a change. Once again, I keep getting sick. I'm tired. I don't go on Facebook too much, but I see your post, and stay strong, brother. All right, James? Stay strong, man, because you get me pretty emotional with those posts, man. I lost my grandma some years ago from, that thing. So I know it's enough to me, So James, stay strong, all right, man. But I'm glad I got on sunglasses. Whew. So copy on that. I'll get back. Thank you, Sammy. I appreciate it. When I'm tightening the clamps on my exhaust, I can twist it to the side. It doesn't pull apart, so that is safe. Yeah, okay, so if you're talking about the clamps, like when you have the clamps, when you clamp it, you don't want it hanging so it would smack or rub, I'm assuming, Trent. So, yeah, you can always just twist it aside and tighten it that way if you're talking about the clamp on exhaust. Hey, bro, I'm 20, about to get my first car. I'm deciding between a 2016 Q60 or a C300. What do you recommend? Trash you. Get the hell out of here with a C300, bro. No. Don't get no damn C300. Now, I know I talked about image earlier, right? Yes, Mercedes bring that image. But here's the thing. I'm going to say it on video. I have a couple Mercedes people who watch me. Don't get fucking offended. There's a difference between an AMG owner and a non-AMG owner. The non-AMG owners just want a Mercedes because it does have better class with it. But there's something about these C300 owners that really think they're better than Infinitis, Acura, TL guys. They really and Lexus IS guys. They think they're better. No, it's a C300. I had the courtesy one, the new one with all the little lights and the thing in the middle. It's fucking cheap. It's gonna be dated and it's fucking cheap. I hate that car. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate that C300. Period. So All these C300s, get it out your freaking head. I'm sorry. They're just entry level cars, man, to Mercedes. Until you start getting to the E classes and up, or some of the AMGs, that's where you get something special. Sorry. I think Infiniti Q50s are more special than C300s. I'm sorry. Because the build quality they put in C300 ain't that much more better. Yes, they may have some nice material, but it's really nothing. When you get another Mercedes that are upper class, you're like, wow, these C300s are trash. Literally, but hopefully no one gets offended. So I would recommend a 2016 Q50, 3.0T or Red Sport, or even 3.0T Sport. Make sure you get the one that has decent package with, the brake assist, the intelligent cruise control. So you have some updated driver assistant packages. And honestly, you can always add Apple CarPlay and enjoy the car. At least you have good power, you have good looks, up to date, some up to date features. But don't get no C300, bro. I'm sorry, I can't let somebody do it. Can't let them do it. I asked because I wanted to do the same right now, and I'm keeping the banding. I got you, Sammy. Should I get a G37 or a 535? Jesus Christ. Which 535? You're talking about the N54 535? Oh, hell no. Yo, once again, shout out to my BMW again. There's nothing wrong with it. 535s are cool. But there's certain trim levels of BMWs you got to get. You can't just get the base 535. Also, you have to find one that was well kept, well maintained. Because if you get one that's not maintained properly, you will be burning money. 5 Series are still pretty well-equipped cars, depending on the year, because this is like 2012, 2013, they're pretty well-equipped cars. It's because it's a 5 Series. You're talking about technology and luxury from 10 years ago, so it's still a good car. But reliability-wise, I wouldn't recommend it. I couldn't even compare G37 and 535. They're not even in the same class. So that one is up to you. The 535 technically will be the better car because it had the highest MSRP. It had the more tech and technically better power plant for the day and age. But reliability-wise, G37. What are the good mods for the G20, BMW 330? Mellow guy, I don't know too much about the 330s. Because I know the D30s are the G20s. I think that's a 4-cylinder turbo. And I think they started making those in 2017, 2018, whatever. It's probably usual what you'll probably do boot mode or MHD or something like that where you do a quick flash tune. You could put downpipes, but what's the point? You could get burbles and pops. After that, I would just do too much. Like those cars, it's a 4-cylinder. Just do a regular tune from boot mode or any one of these flash tuners, and you'll gain another 40, 50 horsepower, and just keep the car clean. If you want to do other mods like lip kits, hood wrap, or blackout or chrome deletes, do the aesthetics. Those are pretty easy. But for performance, there's not so much more there, But good question. Much love, James. It's the exhaust itself that twists after tightening the clamp, and the exhaust doesn't pull apart, but I can twist it to the side. That means it's not tight, Trent. If you can move the clamp, twist the clamp around, it's not tight. It's not tight. Sometimes they'll use rubber or some kind of rubber clamps between the two metal pieces, so maybe the exhaust doesn't come with that. Usually that keeps the clamp from moving around or whatever. Yeah, so the Q50 got you. Maybe the AMG when I'm older. Yeah, I hate when folks stick AMG badges on AMG cars. F10 535. Yeah, so I'm saying F10's 535, it's a luxurious car for back in the day, but I'm just not a fan of the N54 because if it's not well maintained, it could be super expensive. If you had some baby mom who had that car for 2-3 years, it's going to be trash. She didn't take care of it. Or you had some dude who just beat on the car and never changed the transmission fluid. It's going to have problems because if it wasn't maintained. But if it's maintained properly, it looks good on the outside, looks good inside. You scan it for any DTC codes, and it has a good history, I don't see why not. It's still a 5 series, but mm, it's, I personally wouldn't do it if I want reliability. Boost, you got the GOAT, man. Thank you. No problem, Sammy. I want to stay in the Infinity game, but seeing all these Beamers right now, I'm scared to lose in a race. Boost, what do you think of a car? Carbon fiber hoods? Would you get one yourself? I've never got a carbon fiber hood, but if you have watched some of my videos when I do go to car meets, people had carbon fiber hoods, and what they would do is paint it. They will paint it and they'll show expose a little bit of the carbon. So if I ever got a carbon fiber hood for any car, I'm going to paint match it to the car and only expose a little bit of parts of the carbon so that when you walk by it, you're like, oh, that's a carbon hood, because it'll be like certain parts where I would actually show it. So that's what I would actually personally do. But outside of that, guys, I'm going to tap out with you guys tonight. It's been great. I haven't talked to you guys for a while. Your boy Boost is doing quite well. Thank you for hanging out with me on a Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. It's been a while. I really wish I could do these lives more often, but it's just not my thing anymore. I just really haven't. And I was really under the weather, but it was supposed to be at least once a month, but I was dealing with the sadness of not having an E63S. So continue to watch my saga with the E63. For the people who are tapping in late, you already know. Now you know I'm looking for a G37 as a second car. For my people who tapped in early, you already know what I want to do with the G37. And we're going to see what we're going to continue to keep cooking, brothers. So thank you for always showing your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't have a big channel, but I'm thankful for all the watchers from across the world. Thank you for tapping in with me tonight. I really appreciate that. You guys have a good night, man. All right? Take care, and I will see you guys